This should come as no surprise to you guys because you guys are so smart, but not all foaming cleansers or cleansers in general are created equal. And today I am going through 14, I don't even have enough fingers for that, 14 different cleansers from drugstore to high-end. I'm going to be telling you pros, cons, special ingredients, obviously price. We're going to go through it all. I'm also going to do some swatches. So I will be putting makeup on and rinsing it off with the cleanser so you can see how much it foams, how much it takes off makeup, that kind of thing. And we're just going to get into it because this video I've had for so long. Like, look at this. This is a lot. And there are also 2 cleansers that don't fit into this little bucket. So I've been trying them out. I have almost used a few of them, which was like, okay, you got to film the video before you completely run out. So that's what I'm doing today. If you like this type of video, let me know in the comments. Give it a big ol' like. If you're not already subscribed, please do so below. These videos take a lot of time and a lot of effort and energy, and I love doing them, but it's always nice to be rewarded as well, even if it's as simple as a like. So with all that said, let's get into the video. Okie dokie, I have to find the first cleanser that we're talking about, but this one should come as no surprise to you guys. This is the Prequel Gleanser. I've talked about this numerous times. I have many Prequel videos, and this is a fan favorite. Personally, but also in the general public as well. So I'm gonna go over the specs of it. I'm gonna insert the B-roll so you can see what it looks like. And then of course, we're going to talk about my favorites at the end of the video. Everything will be time-stamped, so let's get into it with this first one. Also, before I start, sorry, I am going in order. I'm going in order of cheapest to most expensive, and I'm doing it price per ounce, because obviously they're gonna be different sizes, but I wanna do it per ounce. So starting off with the first one, this one retails for $18 and it is 13.5 fluid ounces, which is how many milliliters? Let's see, 400 milliliters. It's massive, like it's the size of my head. And that actually equals out to $1.33 per ounce. So you are getting a spectacular deal. Okay. So this is a hydrating gel. It's got 50% glycerin, inulin, and mild surfactants. Surfactants are what make a cleanser, so nothing crazy there. This one is super, super hydrating. It's not gonna be stripping, and because of the size, you can definitely use it on your face and your body, which I do often. So in terms of like the negatives for this one doesn't foam as readily as some others. If you really just love that foaming experience, this may not be the one for you. And then also the texture is quite slimy. A lot of people don't like it. For me, this one is a shower product. If that makes sense to you, it makes perfect sense to me. I have certain ones that I use by the sink when I'm just washing my face, and other ones that I use in the shower. This one really works better with a lot of water, so I find it to be a shower cleanser, and I use it on my face and my body. I'm actually gonna get into it on the next one, which I use on my body more. But I also don't think that this one is gonna be the best if you use heavy makeup or have a lot of sunscreen on or reapply your sunscreen throughout the day. Also some like heavy duty mineral sunscreens. This would be your second cleanse. I would not go in right off the bat with it. It's not going to give you the best deep cleanse if you just use it alone with heavy makeup or sunscreen. But if you use it as a second cleanse, which I've talked about many times after a cleansing balm or oil, this is perfect. It does enough to get the dirt or whatever off your face, but it doesn't strip it. And because it has 50% glycerin, there's almost no way that your face is gonna feel dry afterwards. So this is a fan favorite. I literally don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the swatch because I think I'm out of it, but love it. Okay, the next one is also by Prequel. This is the Prequel Gleanser Plus SA. So SA being salicylic acid. This one has 50% glycerin still. It's got 1% salicylic acid, 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐿 acid, and zinc PCA. So this one retails for $20. So our original one is $18 and then this one is $20. That makes it $1.48 per ounce. Still very good. So this one is also a gel formula. Also has that same kind of texture where it's a little bit harder to foam in the beginning, but by adding water, you will get that foaming aspect. It also has salicylic acid. So salicylic acid is really good if you have acne prone skin because it is a gentle exfoliant and it's gonna help clearing your pores while also hydrating because you still have the 50% glycerin. If you do have very sensitive skin, I wouldn't use this one. If you're going in between the regular Gleanser and the SA one and you have sensitive skin, absolutely go with the original. Salicylic acid can be a more irritating acid for some people. If you have more acne prone skin, like I said, your skin actually does really well with it. But if you have drier skin, you probably don't want that because it is one of the stronger acids. Now, I do want to add one last thing is they have a new one out. I forget what the acids are in it, but it's basically along the same lines as the SA one. So glycerin plus a different acid. And I forget, I haven't picked it up. I still have like probably more than 3/4 of this one to use. So I don't like to pick up new ones if I don't have to, but this is a really good option, like I said, for more acne prone skin. Okay, moving on. We have 2 by Naturium, and they are also in order of price. We have the Niacinamide Cleansing Gelée and then the Vitamin C Complex Cleanser. So the niacinamide one is $18 and then the vitamin C one is $19. This is 7.1 fluid ounces. This is also 7.1 fluid ounces. That gives us to about $2.54 for the niacinamide and $2.68 for the vitamin C. So we're still pretty affordable, but we have gone up about $1 in price, and that's mainly due to the size. Like, look at the difference in size. This one is, what did I say, 13.5 ounces, and this is 7. So you're getting double the product and still the same price. So if it's all about price for you, definitely go with Prequel. But I want to talk about the Niacinamide Cleansing Gelée. So this one is 3% niacinamide and is supposed to balance oil, improve texture, and be gentle on your skin barrier. So this one, to me, to be honest, is pretty average. I find that it is just a cleanser. There's nothing special to it. It has like a fun little texture. I don't know. The texture is nice, like a gel texture that foams. But other than that, I don't reach for it often. You can see the difference in what I reach for. This one is the vitamin C. This is the niacinamide. I also don't think niacinamide is necessary. There is niacinamide in so many products these days. It's just everywhere. And for me, it's a rinse off product that it doesn't really need to be in here. So for me personally, I think it's fine. It's pretty lightweight. It's not gonna take off a lot of your skincare and not skincare, but like if you have dirt or makeup or sunscreen on your face, it's not gonna be that like first cleanse. Spoiler alert, almost none of these are. But this one especially is a little bit more gentle than anything else. The one thing I will say as far as like a negative for this one is I do think it strips my skin a little bit more than some of the others. It's nuanced, it's not like overly stripping, but I do feel my face is a bit tighter. So if you have drier skin, this may be not the option for you. If you have more oily skin, niacinamide is actually a great option. So this might be a better choice, and it is really, quite affordable. So it's not like you're gonna break the bank if you don't like it, but I'm still gonna use it up. And then moving on to the Vitamin C Complex Cleanser. I got this in PR. And when they sent it, they sent this and a vitamin C and maybe a sunscreen. And this was the only one I kept because I don't really like Naturium's sunscreens for the most part. I don't like their vitamin C serum that much. I think it's fine. But this, I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. This wowed me. Like, I will be repurchasing this. It is pretty incredible. And especially because I was like, well, it's vitamin C. Like, it's a rinse off serum, or not serum, cleanser. Like, what properties are you getting from it if you're just rinsing it off? But I'm gonna get into that in a second. So this one has vitamin C derivatives, papain and bromelain enzymes, and the bromelain is from pineapple fruit extract, which is a brightening and exfoliating ingredient. And when I tell you that like it's a rinse off product, but it still does what it says it's gonna do, this one is doing that. It is crazy how good it works, even as a rinse off product. So there is a pretty strong scent to it, and I think that's because of those fruit enzymes. It's kind of like it's just the fruit enzymes. I've smelled this before. There's a Good Molecules exfoliating one that has almost the exact same scent, and it does a really good job because it has that bromelain. But if you are sensitive to skin or to scents, or your skin is, this one may be a little too strong. And actually, looking at all my others, I think this is the only one that's scented. So that might be a turnoff for some. Again, I don't think this is gonna be your only cleanser. It's not gonna get off heavy makeup or sunscreen, but it is a really, really good option for exfoliating as a second cleanse. If you've sensed a trend in having two from the same brand, you are onto something, and that is correct. But these two are from the brand Remedy. They're Dr. Shah's brand. He is a dermatologist, and these were sent to me in PR. And I've used one way more than the other, which is also a trend. So this is the first one I'm gonna go over. This one is the Remedy Lightweight Cleanser. So this is actually $16, which is the actual cheapest price. Now, the original Gleanser is $18, but you get 13.5 ounces. And with this one, you get 5 ounces. So actually price per ounce is $3.20. So while it is cheaper in price, you're actually getting a better deal with the Gleanser, but it's still incredibly affordable. Like $16, I think that's the price of drugstore ones nowadays, like an actual drugstore like CeraVe, Cetaphil, that kind of thing. So I think this is a really, really good and affordable brand, and I've talked all about them before. I have a video doing a full brand review, so to go check that out if you're interested. And this one is the Lightweight Cleanser. So this is a gel to foam cleanser. It has salicylic acid, ceramides, glycerin, and green tea. And it's supposed to be a balanced formula, cleans effectively and not stripping, and it's for more normal to oily skin. So this one has 0.5 salicylic acid, which is different than the 1% in the Prequel SA Gleanser. So it does have a little bit less, but I would say it has a little bit more of a balanced formula. You do have glycerin, like I said before, green tea extract, niacinamide, and ceramides. So while it is supposed to be a more like gel foaming cleanser for oily or normal skin, it is also going to give you some level of hydration, maybe not quite as much as the Prequel Gleanser, but it's still like they're not missing it entirely. As far as this, if you have dry skin, you're not gonna like this. I think this is gonna be a little too stripping for your skin. For me, I have normal balanced skin. It's okay, but I feel like especially in the cooler months where there's less humidity in the air, it's a little too drying for me. But in those warmer, hotter, very, very humid months, this is okay for my normal skin. So I think this is a really good option though, because I feel like a lot of the products these days are kind of meant for dry skin people. So if you are in that more oily or combo skin category, this would be a good option to check out. And like I said, it's still very affordable. Okay, and then the next one is the Rich Cleanser. This one is $2 more, it's $18. That comes out to be $3.60 per fluid ounce. So it's still 5 ounces, but it's just a little bit more expensive. This one is a rich cream, and you're gonna see, I'm gonna insert that B-roll right now. It's not foaming. That's one of the things, like I know most of these are foaming, but if you are expecting that from this, it's not that. It's more of those kind of like cream cleansers where it's still gonna be doing the job, but you're not gonna get any of that foaming technology. This one has ceramides, glycerin, hyaluronic acid, and propanediol. So these are all moisturizers and barrier supporters. So if you are looking for something that's gonna be more nourishing and hydrating, this is definitely the one for you. They also, I love how they do it on the packaging where you can see they circle dry to normal, whereas the lightweight cleanser has normal to oily. So you can kind of see which one is better for which skin type and go off of that depending on what you are. For me, I've used more the rich cream cleanser. That's just a probably like, I don't think it's necessarily that hydrating compared to, again, the Prequel Gleanser. But for me, it feels like a really balanced, soothing cleanser. So I've been really enjoying it, and it's not anything special, no scent to it, but also like a really good affordable one, especially as I've run out of my Gleanser. This has been kind of the next one I reach for. All right, next up we have the Bubble Fresh Start Gel Cleanser. This retails for $17, so also still affordable, but it's only 4.2 fluid ounces, and that translates to $4.05 per fluid ounce. Now, before I even get into it, I have to say a word about the packaging. So this is what it looks like, and then you take this little top off, it just comes off, and there's this miniature pump. Like, what is this pump? I don't understand it. It doesn't fit the bottle, so every time I use it, you have to turn it to the side, otherwise the liquid, the foam, or the gel, whatever, goes straight down the bottle. So that's a pretty, like, I don't know, maybe that's not important, but for me that's really annoying because I feel like, especially as I get further into the product and there's less of it, it's gonna become an issue. I just think that like poor planning and like somebody needed to do a better job on the product side. But beyond that, let's get into the product. So this is a gel cleanser. It translates to a light foam. It also has PHA, which is a gentle exfoliant. It's got aloe, red algae, caffeine, and it's gonna be a very beginner-friendly, non-stripping, mildly exfoliating cleanser. This one is also fragrance-free, and this one was sent to me in PR. To be honest, this is just not, I don't think I'm the demographic. Like, Bubble is kind of meant for younger people. So, I mean, thank you for maybe thinking I'm young, I don't know. It's fine. I would not recommend this if you are, I don't know, in your 20s, 30s, or older. I think this is what you get when you're in high school or maybe even middle school and start washing your face. It does have that gentle exfoliant of PHA, which is fine. But other than that, well, first of all, I haven't felt that at all. I didn't realize it was even exfoliating the first few times I used it. But I just think like I would prefer to get one of the exfoliating cleansers from Prequel over this. Size-wise, consistency-wise, I think it's very basic. And I think Bubble as a brand is kind of that way. They do have a very good tinted sunscreen, but other than that, the things I've tried from them have been a little lackluster. So it's okay, but nothing wrong with it. All right, moving on to number 8. This is the Experiment Plasma Wash. This retails for $22 and comes in 5 fluid ounces. That translates to be $4.40 per fluid ounce. Now, Experiment is a more indie brand, although they just launched, not just, but like recently launched at Sephora. So when we're talking about indie brands and then them being in Sephora, it's the same as with the Dr. Idriss. I'm kind of like, okay, you may be indie, but if you have enough money and you can like withstand the price cuts, or not cuts, but the like, what's it called? Sephora takes a lot of money from you. I think if you're in Sephora, you're not really, really that indie. And obviously like you can still be indie, but like, you know what I'm trying to say. You're not on a shoestring budget anymore. That said, I love Experiment. All that, I wasn't trying to get negative. Experiment is I think they're a quite innovative brand. They come out with a lot of products that really just aren't on the market or are things that just people are really needing in their life. So this is a gel cream and it's a low foaming one. So a few of them, and I will talk about them later, are the low foaming options. You can get a little bit of a foam, but again, it's not gonna be like the main star of the show. It's not meant to foam. And this one has amino acid surfactants and humectants. One of the interesting things about it is it's supposed to be moisture depositing onto your skin. So as you use it and then wash it off your face, it's not going to take all of the moisture away. It's similar to the Prequel Gleanser in the fact that the glycerin is going to help hydrate your skin. But this one has apparently a special technology to deposit more of the compounds, and they build kind of like a barrier on your face. So I have heard people say that this is their one cleanser, that this replaces the double cleanse need. I'm always hesitant to say that that is true because for me, maybe it's user error, I don't know, but it doesn't work for me. I always use a cleansing oil or a cleansing balm if I have especially mineral sunscreen or makeup on. I just want to be clean, I don't know. But I've heard people say that this works fine. So if it works for you, that's great, just does not necessarily work for me. But this one is an absolutely stunning choice if you have drier skin or you're just working on your moisture barrier. I think this is a really, really good option. And $22 is not that expensive. We're getting into like the mid-range. So you can pick it up now at Sephora. Of course, I'll link everything below, but this is a really, really fabulous option. All right, moving into one that I didn't really like, but I'm trying to use up because, you know, you gotta use what you have, use it or lose it. This is the Yepoda, the Bubble Double. It's a weird name. It retails for $23 and comes in 4.05 fluid ounces. That translates to be about $5.68 per ounce. This one is an interesting product. It is a foaming cleanser. So when you open it, you'll see here that I pump it out and it's already a foam, which is really cool. And a lot of like hand soaps come like that, but there aren't as many face cleansers like that. So that is interesting. It's got salicylic acid, pomegranate extracts, and it also has some citrus oils, which is not really my favorite thing, but you know. They say that it's clarifying, astringent, and gently exfoliating. I haven't really noticed an exfoliating factor to this one. I use it more like a normal cleanser, so the salicylic acid is definitely in there, but I don't find it to be overwhelming whatsoever. And then, like I said, it does have fragrance, so it kind of smells more citrusy. If you have more sensitive skin, that could be a problem, especially because essential oils can be irritating on some people's skin. I think this is fun. It's honestly like, it's fun to just have it pump out into a foam, but I don't think I would ever repurchase it. Well, I got it in PR, but I definitely wouldn't purchase it myself. I think it's just fine, and I think it's a little bit more gimmicky than it actually needs to be. I'd prefer just to use the cleanser and have a good cleanse versus like the gimmick and then like a little bit of mild exfoliation. Okay, I'm not gonna go too in depth about this one because this one is a very interesting one in the sense that like I've never heard of the brand before or after. I got this one product sent to me in PR and then I've never heard of them ever again. This is the TRNR, TRNR Glycolic Gel to Foam Cleanser. It retails for $28 and it comes in 5 fluid ounces. That equals out to be $5.60 per fluid ounce. So this one has glycolic acid, green tea, aloe, willow bark, and citrus oils. It's supposed to gently exfoliate and be antioxidant rich. So I don't understand why they added the essential oils, the citrus oils, because that out of everything, like everything else is fine about it. I like that it's a mild exfoliant. It doesn't have any like actual physical exfoliants. It's just the chemical exfoliants. But when they add the citrus oils, same as the Yepoda, it kind of takes a segment of the population away because a lot of people really just can't deal with citrus oils on their face. This one, they say it's foaming. I actually feel like I have a harder time getting it to foam, and I use it in the shower, so that shouldn't be an issue. But it's been fine. I don't reach for it when I want an exfoliator. I have like a few that I reach for, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but it's just honestly like it's fine. And I probably have about a quarter left, so I will use it up, but I wouldn't repurchase. Okay, and now we are talking about the Dr. Idriss Soft Wash. So this one retails for $30, which is a lot for a cleanser. It is 5.2 fluid ounces, and that equals to be $5.77 per ounce. This is a jelly or gel texture. It's got mild surfactants and hydrating agents, so it's supposed to be gentle, barrier safe, and also help remove sunscreen or light makeup. So I kind of think of the Experiment and the Dr. Idriss very similarly because I find them to be very, very similar. If I'm going to reach for one over the other, it's going to be the Experiment. I just find this experience to be just a little bit more elevated. The Dr. Idriss is also quite a bit more expensive. I mean, what was it, $22 versus $30? Both sold in Sephora, both from indie small brands. It's fine. I think it's one of her better products. I've talked about it in my video with Dr. Idriss. I think, like I said, like this is one of the better products that she has. But now that I have all these cleansers and I've waited a while to get new ones, it is not something I would repurchase. I did buy this with my own money, and I think it's a great cleanser. But again, it just doesn't stand out in the crowd for me anymore, especially with the Experiment. All right, we're getting through it. I know this is a long video. Everything will be time-stamped, of course. The next one we have is the Medik8 Surface Radiance Cleanser. So this one retails for $29 and you get 5 fluid ounces. So compared to Dr. Idriss, it's $1 less and you're getting a little bit less, but that actually equals to be a little bit more expensive. It's $5.80 per ounce. So this is another gel to foam cleanser. This has mandelic and lactic acid, which are AHAs. It also has salicylic acid, which is a BHA, and antioxidants. So this one is supposed to be brightening and exfoliating, and I would say it is a really good one for more combo, oily, or balanced skin types, especially because it has the salicylic acid in it. So this one is going to be comparable to our vitamin C cleanser, where you're really working on exfoliation but also brightening. Because it is more exfoliating, it can be a little bit more drying if you overuse it or if you have more dry, very dry skin. I would caution maybe don't use this every single day unless you do have more oily skin. But as far as an exfoliating product, this is in my top favorites of the exfoliating cleansers that I have here. My main complaint, and this is small, but it is packaging related, this is how the top is. Now I want to show you a comparison to one of the remedies because there's a big difference. So this is the remedy, this one, and this is the Medik8. Do you see how on the Medik8, there's nowhere to put your finger to open that tab? So what it means is, especially when your hands are wet because you're washing your face, it can be like, I can't do this. There, I used my fingertip to get it open, and oftentimes I do that in the shower because my hands are too wet, but it needs this little ridge to be able to open it more easily, like, you know. So that is a complaint. I don't think it's the be all end all. And this is actually one that I would repurchase, but it is pretty expensive. Like Medik8 is not a cheap brand. And I also think that if you wanted a really good exfoliating one, you could get this one for, I think, what is it, half the price? Not half, maybe a third. But I love it. I love the texture. I think the texture is one of the best ones out there. And it is a nice, gentle exfoliator. Okay, we're getting into the two last ones that are also the most expensive. This one is the Ilia, the Cleanse Soft Foaming Cleanser. I bought this on a whim. They had this really kind of annoying marketing on, where was it, Instagram or something, a reel where this woman took off a full face of makeup with this, and I was like, there's no way. It actually does take off makeup pretty well, but I just found that marketing kind of drove me crazy. So I do like it, but it was kind of like a turnoff as well. Also a turnoff is the price. This is $32. I mean, it's Ilia. Like, they are one of those kind of like luxe brands you can buy at the detox market, that kind of thing. It's 5 fluid ounces, so pretty much the same size as a lot of these, but that means it's $6.40 per fluid ounce, so it's pretty pricey. We were at $1.33 or something for Prequel, just put that in comparison. So this one is a foaming cleanser, and when it comes out already in a foam, which is really nice. I think it's got a lot of gentle surfactants and your hydrating agents. So you are not gonna strip your skin with this one. It's gonna be a nice gentle cleanse, but honestly, it does remove makeup pretty well. So I was really shocked by it. It was something that I wanted to hate, but also ended up kind of liking. Now, if you have waterproof sunscreen or makeup on, none of these are gonna be the job. None of these are gonna do the job. I would definitely recommend double cleansing, but if you're just wearing normal makeup and maybe like a normal sunscreen, this can take quite a bit of it off. I still double cleanse, but you know, do you and figure out what works for you. So all that said, very expensive, but honestly works pretty well. All right, and our last one is the OneSkin Prep Facial Cleanser. This retails for, it almost hurts me to say it, $45. $45. I bought this with my own money. Like, what was I thinking? Well, obviously I do it for reviews, but it also is 6.76 ounces, so that's 200 milliliters, and that equals out to be $6.66 per fluid ounce. That's 666. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is a silky gel foam that has a soft foam, but not the most foaming one out of all the ones I've reviewed. This one has niacinamide botanicals, which I don't really know what they mean by that, and then gentle surfactants. It also is supposed to have their OS1 peptide in it, but my main complaint, and I have a full brand review on OneSkin, is that doesn't do anything if you're rinsing it off. Literally, unless you have the compounds that are depositing, like our experiment plasma wash, you're rinsing off that special, I put that in air quotes, OS1 peptide. So for me, I never understood this concept. Like, to me, yes, you definitely need to cleanse your face before putting on their other products if they have these special peptides. But unless you have a technology that allows some of the peptide to stay, you are just rinsing it off. And for $45, I just cannot justify that. Other than that, I find it to be so basic. If you packaged this in some basic drugstore packaging and put whatever Cetaphil on it, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. It has no fragrance, which I'm fine by, but it has nothing that makes it feel luxe. Like, it just doesn't feel luxurious, except for maybe like the glass packaging and the pump top are nice. But other than that, I do not think in any way it's worth $45. Okay, so that's all 14 of them. I know this video is long and I really do apologize, but hopefully if you wanted to just see one, you could go to the timestamp. But now I want to go over a few things really quickly and my favorites and least favorites. The first thing I wanted to go over are the ones that don't really foam. And it's not a problem, but I just want to make it clear, at least for me, I don't get the biggest amount of foam with the Gleanser, which is fine. I do get it, but not like massive foams. The Dr. Idriss, the Experiment, and then the Remedy Rich Cleanser, and then the Turner, Glycolic gel. Now, these 4 are still some of my favorites, but they're not gonna be like, if you love the bubbles, they're not gonna have that. So I just wanted to call that out. Nothing wrong with it, but you know, just a little differentiator. As far as my favorites, these are the 4. Now I feel like I've gotten a pretty good balanced 4 favorites. I have 2 that are more drugstore, very affordable. One that is just, it's the Prequel Gleanser. Like, it's not gonna destroy anyone's skin. It's good for all skin types. You can use it on your face, your body. It's so affordable. I just love it. And I need to repurchase a new one. I think I'll probably repurchase their new one. But the other one I also love, really shocked me, is this Naturium Vitamin C Complex Cleanser. I love this and I reach for it all the time when I want an exfoliator. It's not physical, it's chemical exfoliants, but it really does a good job of making my skin just feel like a little bit like polished in the sense, but not stripping. Now for 2 that are more high end, I love the Experiment. I would definitely consider repurchasing this. It's just more of a Prequel Gleanser in that it's not gonna be stripping, it doesn't have exfoliators, but it is gonna be moisture depositing, which is really cool. And then the other exfoliating one on the high end is the Medicate. This one is just lovely. I love the texture. I reach for it all the time because I enjoy the texture so much, but it's expensive and I could just get the Naturium. But that said, those 4 are my favorites. Honestly, all of the others are fine, and I really don't think I'm gonna go into like a massive amount of my least favorites. I will just call out the 𝐻𝐿∗SKIN. I think this is so unnecessary. Even if you really love 𝐻𝐿∗SKIN, which I actually like their body lotion a lot, I don't think it's worth $45. Spend your money on one of their serums or moisturizers or whatever if you want that peptide. Do not spend it on the cleanser. It's just not worth your money. Okay guys, this video is what, 30 minutes? I don't know, it's crazy long. But this was a long time coming, 14 different cleansers. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your favorite cleanser in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.